Well, Steve, thanks very much for coming in today, and congratulations on your announcement for candidacy for the mayor of City of Vancouver. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to run for mayor of City of Vancouver.
Well, thank you for having me, Ken, and giving me the opportunity to give my reasons for being here. My reasons for being for mayor is because, well, it's a calling. Frankly, I have done my entire life has been revolved around the calling of the Almighty. I'm a servant of people. I feel that I can come to this position, bring skills, knowledge, abilities that no one has seen before in our mayor's office in this community. I believe that I bring a different point of view and a fresh new outlook on things that we don't have in our community.
Tell us a little bit about those skills that you bring to the table that other people, that you feel other people don't.
Well, I spent 36 years in the United States Army Reserve as dual status military technician, as a regular Army officer, and enlisted soldier. I spent another 2 years in the Washington State Guard, working out of the Emergency Management Division at our state headquarters in Camp Murray, where I served as a logistics director, teaching the Guard and interfacing with both Washington and Idaho National Guards and our emergency state management state legislators. I've worked at the county levels as liaison officer and providing the support and the knowledge they need on how to make things happen in the event of an emergency. I've had just every possible training course you can imagine to be an incident commander, the liaison officer, and bring all that knowledge to bear in an emergency situation at any community or region within our Northwest corridor and Region 10 of FEMA. Now, my time in the military, I've worked realistically every position there is, from the foxhole up through echelons above corps. I've served as manager and directors. These are the equivalent military to translate into civilian terminology that I'm using here. But vice president and CEO of a battalion of over 800 soldiers. I've served in combat. I've served in high stressful situations. I understand all the nuances of people and bringing out the good of them, building teams. I'm a problem solver. And the Army uses a deliberate process for solving problems, and we analyze all potential courses of action. We have the means, the wherewithal, the determination, and we remove all of the emotion and solve the problem. We evaluate all risks, hazards associated with those, the unintended consequences, third, second, fourth order of effects, and all of the outside environmental influencers or factors that may contribute to a problem. I never say that I have all the answers, but I can assemble a group of smart people and facilitate to come up with some pretty good solutions. And that's where I really, my forte is, where I make the biggest bang for my buck.
Very good. You talked about how you feel called to run for office and that you consider yourself a servant. Why did you choose to run for this particular office?
I don't like politics. I do not like politics. Never saw myself as a politician. Our community needed something. I have never seen a community so separated and divisive and polarized as I've seen here. And it needs unification. Many people have approached me about the position and asked me to run, and for several months I said, no, I don't need this, I'm happily retired. You don't understand. I don't need the money. I shy away from public office, being in the public eye. Don't like it. And this is a job that's very public. My wife and I sat down, discussed it, prayed on it, and the good Lord calls me to do these things, and it was calling. I decided to come out of retirement, and that was the right thing to do, to serve my community again. So I'm here to give my best and do my duty and be a servant to the people.
In addition to unifying the community, what are some of the issues facing the city of Vancouver that you're most passionate about?
Well, there are several. The biggest ones are the homeless issue and taxes and crime. I will tell you right off that drugs and alcohol are the key contributor to the crime anywhere. We have a serious drug and alcohol problem. We have a human trade problem, a human trafficking. Our taxes go up because we have to have more services to combat these. How we collect taxes, however, is not always fair. There's a serious squeeze on the middle class right now. Middle class are bearing the load. We have tax abatements that are now at $50,000 per unit for housing, and that's the Section 8 housing for the homeless. We are in a robust economy right now. Vancouver is doing very well, and I've sat on several commissions, or not sat on, I've attended several meetings with commissions, and they've said this time and time again, our economy is rolling. Our unoccupancy rate is 1% for apartments, 1%. That is unheard of. There's no reason to have tax abatements to encourage builders to develop. They're going to get their money, and any bank in this economy will loan them money to do that. So I think it's time to revisit tax abatements and give the middle class some relief in that area. The other issue of the homeless that we have is too many people fall through the cracks. The right people aren't getting into housing, and there are other people who are just quite simply playing the system. There needs to be accountability and an audit of all of our nonprofit agencies who are taking government money to provide housing for the homeless. We have over 1,000 nonprofits in this city providing some sort of housing or support for the homeless. I think we can do a better job of how we execute our homeless program and the tax dollars. And I'm a good steward of tax dollars. I am a fiscal conservative. I want to do what's right. The handicapped, mentally and physically, who are unable to work, will always be taken care of. Always. That's a baseline. All others, we need to get a return on our investment. What are the taxpayers getting for the money that we're providing to subsidize housing? What are those people doing for our community? What are they giving back? Now we can talk in generalities. There are a lot of nebulous answers out there. But I want to be able to take clear metrics that people can understand and know going in with these tax dollars that they're being used for something that we're going to get something back on. And we're going to manage those metrics. And it has to be down to the individual level. So if we're not getting results, there needs to be some sort of ramification. We have to hold people accountable for their actions. Right now, the stories I hear in talking to some of the homeless people that are living in these Section 8 apartments, drugs are rampant. you can't have that being subsidized by the taxpayers. So I want to take measures to fix that. So my big three are the taxes, the homeless, and crime, and they're all intertwined. They're interrelated. If we can fix that, or at least make an attempt, we'll do a better job. Now, homeless, the current city policy is a zero homeless in 10 years. We're currently about 7 years into that policy. And it's failed miserably. There will always be homeless. Someone said to me that the first homeless people were Adam and Eve when they were thrown out of the Garden of Eden. Homelessness has been around forever. It will continue to be around forever. And having a lofty goal of zero defect program, we're going to take everybody off the streets, is not realistic. We need to have realistic objectives, quantifiable, quantitative, that we can all agree on and work towards. In order to have this zero defect program, our city has raised taxes again. And you can find those numbers on the city's website. And the taxes go up through 2020. 2018, we're going to see another 3.7% increase on our utility tax for police, fire, and homeless. As I indicated, we have a greater need for those emergency services because we have an increasing population. Our response times have to be maintained. The idea that we can lower response times to, say, a 4-minute response to save lives is not realistic. It's not cost effective, it's cost prohibitive. In order to do that, simply get in your car, drive out 4 minutes from your house, and use that as the radius to draw a circle. You'll need a fire engine, a police officer, and a paramedic on every major intersection in this city. I don't think we can afford to do that. The middle class cannot bear that kind of burden. So what do the people want? Not what I as a politician want, but reaching out to the people and finding out what they want is what I want to do.
In the end, if someone elects to vote for Steve Cox for mayor of City of Vancouver, what do you think the reason will be for them to hitch their wagon to you?
Mine is about integrity, ethical government, working with the people and for the people. Our citizens are not included in the decision-making process. What I want to do is set up a Mayor's Corner website survey that incorporates voter registration records, property records and tax records, utility records, and based upon the information provided, send a Twix out to the voter. Here's a Mayor's Corner survey for this particular decision that the council is looking at. Have a live calculator, and as you click the various courses of action, it will calculate your tax increases based upon your property, all of your taxes. So you can see, can I afford that? What I'm getting in return from my investment, the complete analysis off a link from that website, from that particular page, and make an educated decision. Am I for this or against it? Inclusion is what my campaign's about. I want more voter interest and participation in their destiny.
Well, thank you very much, Stephen. I appreciate your time, and best of luck to you in the campaign.
Well, I thank you for having me today, Ken, and wish you the best.
Thank you, Steve.